Here it is, the 2020 Honda Civic Type R. Now, I had to wait quite some time to get my hands on the Civic Type R, but it finally happened. What you see here is a refreshed model for 2020. Changes include a slightly bigger front grille for better cooling, revised suspension and an updated braking system. Those improvements may not be visible, but apparently they improved the way the Type R drives, so without further ado, let's get it on the road and see how it drives. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, so let's start with the powertrain. The Civic Type R is powered by a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder, producing 306 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. This unit is without a doubt the best performance-oriented 4-cylinder that I've ever driven, and yes, it has VTEC. It's actually kinda interesting to drive a turbo engine with VTEC. The motor wakes up around 2500 RPM, then at 5500 VTEC kicks in and the engine keeps delivering power up to 7000 RPM. Thankfully, the Type R comes standard with an LSD, and in combination with a very well programmed traction control system, it is unbelievable how well all this power and torque are transferred. The traction control system is not intrusive, doesn't drastically cut down the power, and the torque and understeer pretty much don't exist. The 6-speed manual with updated linkage is very direct and the clutch has a good feel, making it easy to drive even if you don't have much experience. Plus, you can turn on automatic rev matching to make things even easier. Now for 2020, Honda revised some suspension elements, such as bushings for the front and rear suspension. Thanks to the adaptive dampers, which now react 10 times quicker than in pre-facelift model, the ride quality in comfort mode is unbelievably good and you can daily drive this thing without any issues, even with 20-inch rims that come standard. In the most hardcore plus R setting, the Type R handles like a dream. It's incredibly stable, the body roll pretty much doesn't exist, and when you lift off the throttle in the corner you're gonna get a little bit of controllable oversteer. The steering, just as expected, is very precise and responsive, offering a pretty good feedback. Also updated was the front braking system, with drilled rotors being replaced by a solid 2-piece. The fuel and pedal travel is just the way it should be, the brakes perform very well, and even after aggressive driving, I didn't notice any issues with fading. Now let's talk about safety features, because why wouldn't we? Every Civic Type R comes standard with Honda Sensing, which includes automatic braking, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist and automatic high beams. Typically for Honda, all driver assistance systems work well, and my only wish is that the blind spot monitoring and parking sensors were available. During my week with the Type R, I averaged 22 miles per gallon in the city, 29 on highway and 26 combined, which honestly is not a bad result. Last year when I reviewed the regular Civic, I was pleased with its interior in terms of both ergonomics and quality. As you can imagine, the Type R is no different. Everything is well put together, nothing rattles and ergonomics are great. The Android-based infotainment system isn't the greatest though. It has a very outdated graphical user interface and isn't quick to respond, but on the other hand, in a car like that I don't really care. 540-watt sound system with 12 speakers and subwoofer sounds average at best, so if you're an audiophile you wanna consider upgrading it. The seats are one of the best buckets I sat in. They're extremely supportive yet surprisingly comfortable. The back seat offers tons of room for a compact car, and the trunk is very spacious and practical, offering 25.7 cubic feet of space with the seats up and 46.2 cubic feet after folding them down. Even though I cannot compare the new Civic Type R to the pre-facelift model since I didn't have a chance to drive one, I have to say that after spending a week with the 2020 model, I'm really impressed with it, and it is my favorite hot hatch on the market. It's super fun and enjoyable, and at the same time is very practical, making it a well-balanced package for daily driving. Pricing for the Civic Type R starts at $37,890, and that's what my tester was priced at. If you wonder how I would spec out my Type R, click the link in the description. Thanks for watching.